appreciate everybody for tuning in. The over 16,000 subscribers, everybody who watch, who like, who dislike, who comment. Y'all definitely appreciate it. My name is Marcus. I'm the Debt Free Dad. And over here on this channel, we talk finances and attorney reactions to finance news, trending topics, current events, all of that good stuff. Now, I always got to give the disclaimer. I'm a licensed attorney in several jurisdictions, but none of those jurisdictions amount to me being your personal counsel. So if you're looking for legal, financial advice, any professional advice, go seek a professional in your area. Don't ever rely on a talking head on YouTube, even if it's your boy. You see how genuine I'm being? Like, don't even rely on me, okay? Don't rely on me because I may say some wrong shit on here. So definitely seek a professional, somebody who owes you a fiduciary duty. And if they make a mistake, they have a professional license on the line. Now, in this video, I've been doing a lot of reaction videos, but this is a reaction to a real life event, the financial situation over at DFD's household. So I want to get everybody caught up to speed because if you're familiar with the channel, you know what was going on. If you're new, your boy lost his job. Now, in losing the job, it wasn't something that I didn't see coming. It was a term position. I knew it was going to end at some point in time. Now, you always hope to have an easy, seamless transition into your new role, but let's just be honest, hey, in light of the economy, everybody was talking recession. Sometimes it's not easy to make that transition. So in August of 2023, it was my last day on the job. Now, hey, I'm not going to go into specifics, but your boy was doing night for himself, okay? It was six-figure job. It was up there. Your boy was doing all right for himself. So I lost that job. For a couple of weeks, I was able to enjoy the benefits of unemployment, which is terrible because where I'm at, I think unemployment is like $470 a week. But, I got that for a couple of weeks until I landed something else. Now, in landing that new job, because it wasn't a career, that new job, I took essentially a 50% pay cut. Now, if we're talking about the household budget, the income that comes in the house, I probably account for about 65% of it. So, in light of that, I took a 50% pay cut. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, damn, DFD, why did you take a 50% pay cut? You couldn't find something that was paying more? Well, it's a few things, and some of it is going to require a separate video, but I'm going to give y'all the short and fast version, okay? In short, I had several opportunities to work in the private sector and make a substantial amount of money. Okay. It would have been more than what I was making at the job I lost, which is kind of crazy. But it was a few things with that. One, I had opportunities that were kind of in the back burner that was working. Things take time to go through. So I knew those were opportunities that I probably wanted a little bit more. The other thing is, because I knew and we were able to anticipate that this job loss was coming up, we maxed out our emergency fund, but then we just paused all the extra payments we were sending on student loans last year because it wasn't any payments required. And we just started stacking extra money in emergency fund. So we went above and beyond what we needed in our emergency fund. And that was a smart move. And that was dope because it allowed us, when I lost the job, when I'm making 50% of my income for 6 months almost, we didn't have to eat top ramen. I didn't have to say, hey, baby girl, you can't dance no more. You can't go to this competition in New York. Hey, sorry, son, you can't go on this senior trip. Nah, I didn't want to do that. So I made sure we had that cushion in place and everything worked out. Now, if y'all don't know, I control like 99.9% of the finances in the house. I'm just fortunate that, hey, Mrs. DFD interests me enough to be like, hey, you just manage it, do what you need to do. And that's just kind of how it works. I'm not saying that like, hey, you don't need to see what's in there. It ain't all creepy and crazy like some guy who hates his wife in a Tyler Perry movie. But, it's open, but, I typically manage all that. I typically point all the directions, make the calls on what we're going to invest in. And I own that because 20 years from now, if we can't have the retirement we plan, I'm willing to eat that I fucked it up. But packing that extra money in the emergency fund allowed us to really not miss a beat. So, reason number one why I didn't take a job that was paying more was because I knew I had opportunities on the back burner that I were probably going to accept once everything kind of got done on the administrative side. Number two, I don't want to go to a job to make a lot of money knowing that I'm probably going to leave in 6 months. I have been in leadership positions where I was the hiring manager, where I was responsible for organization, a team, for strategic planning. And nothing is more frustrating than onboarding an employee. You think you got everything up to speed, then in 6 months, they go somewhere else. Me, I just didn't want to do that because that's just not my style. Now, there's a lot of people out there who would have just took the job. Hey, I'm gonna take the job and make a shitload of money for 6 months until I do something else. But that really wasn't my vibe. I don't really want to put anybody in that type of position. And it goes, it impacts your ability to build bridges and relationships. I've met with people at firms and people who had divisions at high level organizations. And hey, they respected the fact that I said, this is a great opportunity, but I can't guarantee you that I'll be in this position for 6 months. And I don't want to put your organization in an administrative deficit. And you know what happened? Those people who jobs I declined because, hey, even though it was paying a shitload of money, I knew I probably wasn't going to be there because I had my eye on something else. They ultimately ended up becoming some of my greatest assets just from a networking standpoint. And when guys got jobs like that, when you want to go out to lunch, they always want to take you to the nicest place and they always want to pay. So those are the two reasons why I didn't jump directly into a job. So I took a job that, one, it didn't require a lot of brain power because I really didn't want to think that hard. It allowed me to work from home exclusively, which was perfect. And three, it just kind of gave me some flexibility. If I wanted to miss a day or a week, I could. It was really no problem. Now, that job is great to do in the interim because, it was a job that allowed me to bring in just enough income so that I didn't have to go in my emergency fund and spend the vast majority of the money in my emergency fund. So, with earning 50% less in salary over a 6 month period, the question is, what insights did this give me on how I'm doing my finances? Am I doing it right? What moves can I make better? Well, the first thing that it really brought into light is that, hey, over here, we are on the right path. The simple fact that I could take a 50% hit as the person who is the 65, 70% breadwinner when it comes to the household income and we not miss a beat. I think that's some value in knowing that, one, we definitely aren't over leveraged, we aren't living above our means, and we just have reasonable and realistic expectations of the type of lifestyle we want, and we don't live a terrible lifestyle. When I took a look back and looked at some of the things that we cut off during this time, it wasn't anything that would have been a really huge impact. We probably missed one traveling event that we probably normally would have went. We probably would have took the family somewhere inside the United States, which we didn't do. It's funny. I asked my kids, like, what have y'all noticed during this period? My son was like, really, the only thing that we noticed was we weren't going out to eat as much. That leads me directly in point number two. The second thing that I noticed is, hey, I was able to lose 50% of my income and we were still able to pay all of our essential bills and take care of everything. That showed me that my budget, when I start my new position, when that income jumps back up, uh, my budget can be tighter and we can direct our money more. I know that the budget has been really loose. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. One of my failures for 2023 was in August. I want to say around after August, September, right around September, I really just kind of start tracking my budget because it was kind of on autopilot. I lost that job in August. I took the month of August to see how the money was going to look. Once I knew what money was coming in, I really kind of stopped tracking it because I can just do kind of the eye test. I know what spending is going on. I can look at the accounts and I can kind of make sure we fall on line. So it definitely showed me that, hey, when I start this new job soon and my income shoots back up, we can tighten up the budget so that I can be able to pay off this last student loan faster, so we can stack more ends in the investment account, a retirement account, put more ends towards my sons and daughters' higher education if they choose to do so. Um, the last thing that it showed me is that people do not give a damn about your situation. Nobody gives a flying, you know what, about your financial situation. If people impute income on you because of a career, because of what you do, because of how they perceive it, and I don't got no fly shit. All of my stuff is old. I got old ass cars. I got an old ass motorcycle. I got a, I got like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 real nice fits. Because if I'm going somewhere, I'm probably gonna be in the suit during the week. That's just kind of how it goes. But I don't got a lot of nice stuff. But how people perceive you is interesting, because you think that you're living on a strict budget below your means, but to them, they see your budget as balling like a mother. And so, it's interesting to see how, one, people perceive you, and two, how, if people perceive you as coming from a position of abundance, nobody gives a damn about what happens with your financial situation. They still gonna want. That's all people fucking care about. And you know me, I'm gonna tell them no, 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 no. But I'm gonna be just honest. This is just me. I think it's just kind of borderline disrespectful if, like, I'm a single person with no wife and no kids, and I go to ask someone who's married with a wife and kids, and they got a kid in college for some money. How the fuck? I mean, pardon my language. I think that's crazy. This is just me personally. I think if you're single with no kids and no spouse, you are a person who's in the prime position to be in a position of abundance. If you aren't, you have nobody to blame for that shit but you. I actually sat back and thought about it, and probably from the age of 20, I couldn't think of a time where I was single, no kids, no marriage, just a single person from the age of 20 until, what, 27, whenever I got married. I couldn't think of one time where I was like, oh man, I need to borrow something. I need to hold something from somebody. I had no obligations. Everything was taken care of, everything was reduced to the bare minimum. But no matter what your financial situation is, if you lose your fucking job, if you lose a leg, if people think you got it, they gonna ask for it with no regard of what you're dealing with financially. And I just think that's just kind of jacked up. But it is what it is. Money make people act funny. That's why in 2024, I'm not. If somebody wants anything advice when it comes to finances, if you want my opinion, you better go search through the damn archives and find a video where I talked about it. That's just kind of the mood that I'm on now when it comes to finances. But that experience of losing that job, taking that 50% hit, it just kind of really enlightened me, because it just kind of illuminates where everyone's priorities are and where my personal priorities are. My priorities aren't really associated with having stuff. My priorities are focused on not having stress. Even though I lost that job, I lost 50% of my income for damn near 6 months. I wasn't stressed about it one bit. I wasn't worried that the lights were going to cut off. I wasn't worried that the I was going to have to get the local Wi-Fi because I couldn't afford anything. A car needed to get fixed. I did. I was grateful over this 6 month period. Hey, God is good, because I didn't have to get my vehicle fixed not one time, which is, you get a 6 month run when you got used vehicles without having to do any maintenance. That's like, hey, you're like, thank you. It's exciting. But those are just some of the things that I learned. I'll probably do a separate video where I'll break down my financial goals and goals in general for 2024, or more importantly, why I no longer am giving myself financial goals. There's actually a good reason, but I wanted to just shed some light on what's going on. So right now, lost a job, 50% of the income cut. We bolstered up the emergency fund. We didn't miss a beat. Started my new job in 2 or 3 weeks. The income is going to shoot up. When that income shoot up, we're going to make some moves because we got to get back on it and attack the student loan because we're so close. We're right at the finish line and we had to pause it. And I definitely want to get that stuff out of here. So it's going to be a push. The goal is going to be to see if I can knock it out this calendar year in the year 2024. I think it's going to probably take me 15 to 18 months, more or less. But, hey, I'm going to stretch it out, see if, I can push it to knock it out in 12 months before the calendar year changes. But, that's going to be the plan. Hey, as always, if you found some value out of this, hey, definitely subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with somebody who you think it could benefit. If you enjoyed it, check out the content on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finance and or attorney reactions.